and welcome to Ashley's Heart Song. So happy to be with you here today. Ashley's Heart Song is about getting out of the stress and back into your body, your life, and business. So are you ready for that? Y'all, stress is stealing our life, but most importantly, stress steals our breath. So when you think of your life and the way you're participating in your life every single day, and when we allow the stressors of the world, the stressors of your life, the stressors of others' life to come into you, it impacts our breath. It impacts the way that we are fueling our body with oxygen, with vibrant health. We are going to do an Age Gracefully series, or I am providing an Age Gracefully series. And in this series, I will be speaking to several elements that can create vibrant health for you. And breath is part one in the series. And so let's get rolling on this beautiful element that is free. This is one of the most beautiful freebies you will ever have. And that is your breath. Our breath is our nervous system's love language. That is a quote by Dr. Lauren Fogel Mercy. She says that breathing, deep breathing, is our nervous system's love language. And when we look at the beauty of that, the nervous system, and how we can, in any given moment, bring ourselves into a more beautiful state of awareness. And in that awareness, we bring peace and health and vitality to our body. One moment, please. I am working on, okay. All right. Here we go. So when you are looking at your own vitality score for today, we do this every week. We check your vitality score to see how you are doing, how you're participating in your life, if you're full on, or if there seems to be a little bit of a hiccup. And this vitality score helps you to identify that hiccup that you have. So everybody take out your pen and paper and let's check your vitality score. First, let's take a look at your mental health. So we take a score out of 4 elements of your beingness and we rate them. So we're going to start with the mental body today. Your mental body, so this is how you're thinking. So if you're thinking around life-giving, then you're going to score high on this scale of 1 to 10. But if your thinking is less than, is life-stealing, which is negative thinking, then that is going to score lower on the range of 1 to 10. So mentally, how are you today? Are you keeping your thoughts above the line? And what above the line means is that it's positive, it's uplifting, it's breathing life into you and everyone around you. Your thoughts, your words are abundant driven. Okay. Whereas if we have below the line thinking, then it's negative, it's less than, it is nothing ever works out for me, right? Think I'll go eat worms, kind of a thought pattern. And that would be the lower end. All right. Then we have our emotional body. Emotionally, where are you today? Is your emotional body uplifted? Do you feel as though your feelings, your emotions are happy, joyful, love-filled? Or is the emotional side of you filled with sadness and how the feelings that negativity brings? So there's sadness, there's worry, there's anger, frustration, irritation, procrastination, disgruntlement, discouragement. All of those are below the line. And those are emotions that we can feel when we are feeling more below the line. All right, so that is emotional body. Give yourself a rate of 1 to 10. Where do you score? Then we have the physical body. Our physical body, where do you feel that you are rating today between 1 and 10? With our physical body, if we rate higher on the scale, closer to 10, then we feel like we have energy. We're strong. We have plenty of movement in our day, and we have a pep in our step. If we are lower on that scale of 1 to 10 with our physical body, then we're feeling fatigued. We just want to sit and chill most of the day. Where are you with your physical body? Rate it from 1 to 10. Then you have your spiritual body. Where are you today spiritually? Do you feel in alignment? Do you feel that all is well in your world? Do you feel connected? Rate yourself 1 to 10. Where are you today in your spiritual health, your spiritual body in your life? Now add up those 4 scores, and that can give you a possible of 40 points. If you're above 30, you are doing awesome. Keep up the good work. Keep up with what you're doing in your practices, the way you're eating, the way you're exercising. Maybe it's your prayer devotional time, your meditation time. Maybe you're reading some thought-provoking books that are forcing you to elevate. Whatever it is that you're doing great when you're scoring above a 30 to a 40. Now, if you're 20 to 30, you are on the right track. Just give yourself a little bit of a bump to experience more growth in this arena. All right, so look at your scores, and if you need more of a little growth in physical or emotional, then that is awesome. All right. Okay, do y'all hear that in the background? Music just came on. Don't know where it's coming from. That is so much fun. So hopefully it will stop there. Not sure. So we will just keep traveling along, and we will get it off. So fun. So fun. All right. So take a look at that. See how your mental, physical, and emotional and spiritual body are right now. Are you finding that there's areas where you are needing to put some attention? Put some attention, and that is it. All right. My apologies. I will be right back. I wonder how often that happens. That was so fun. All right, we had a little music in the background, but we're back now. And I normally wouldn't have disappeared, but it was interrupting thought patterns. And I wanted to release that. So here we are. So how did you rate? Where do you need to elevate yourself in order to get your score in that 30 to 40 range? Right? Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the breath, and there are areas of the breath that steal our energy. And that is when we are breathing shallow and when we're holding our breath. So what does that mean for us when we are holding our breath, breathing shallow? Have you ever noticed that in your life when you just all of a sudden realize, wow, I wasn't breathing. How long did I not breathe? We can hold that breath and breathe very shallow for a lot longer than we think. So if I was to have you hold your breath right now, say, okay, ready, you're going to hold your breath for a minute and have you breathe in as much air as you could, exhale it and hold that breath for a minute. You could possibly be going, oh my God, what's happening, right? It could really stress you. However, when you're under stress and you're holding on, you're gripping with life, we grip our breath. And in that gripping, we can hold it and breathe in little bitty bits of air. I mean, we're talking to where your chest doesn't even move. And that, you could do that for a really long time and never feel the, right? So it's something we really want to look at. I recommend that people take breathing breaks. And before the end of today, we are going to go through a breath break session together. And in that session, we train the muscles of our lungs and the diaphragm, the muscle of the diaphragm, to pump, to breathe in, to exhale, breathe in and exhale. We want that diaphragm really working. That muscle, the diaphragm is this dome-shaped muscle that is right here at the top of your stomach. So we have our rib cage right here. Right in between is that dome-shaped muscle, and it's the diaphragm. And that diaphragm is in charge of acting like a syringe. When you want to take in an inhale, that diaphragm will pull the air into the lungs by expanding and lowering. Then as you exhale, that diaphragm contracts and it pushes the air back up through the lungs and out of the mouth. So we can do a full inhale and bring all of the air from the upper lobes down to the lower lobes, and exhale, lower lobes to upper lobes and out. So we'll be diving into that a little deeper as we move along as well. However, right now, the point I'm wanting to make to you is the awareness around how you're breathing will give you an idea of if you are under stress or not. Many times we get so used to the amount of stress that we carry every day that we begin to feel it's normal. And that normalcy makes us feel like we don't have any stress. I know it sounds convoluted and kind of insane at the same time, but we get so used to the stress that we begin to lose the ability to identify it. So think back, and in fact, you could even pause right now and look at your breath. Are you taking deep breaths, or are you breathing shallow, or are you holding your breath? Either one of those lets you know that you have been under stress. Now, the other thing that we want to look for is if you're breathing, are you breathing chest breathing, or are you doing the belly pump breathing? So when you tuned in just a moment ago, did you notice full extension of the diaphragm, right? How it extends and lowers? Expands. Did you notice that? Or did you breathe from the upper lobes of the lungs? That is also an identifier, because it may not be shallow. It could be deeper than the shallow breaths, but it's your diaphragm's not pumping. That is also a sign of nervousness, anxiety, worry, all the fear-based emotions. Do y'all remember when, well, some of you may not remember, but way back in the day, during the black and white TV shows, the old Dracula TV show, and I don't know why I remember this, but I do, because it always fascinated me when I began to learn about the stress response. My brain just linked to the Dracula movies, those old black and white Dracula movies, and how when the woman got scared, her chest heaved up and down, right? Just up and down, heave, heave, heave. That is breathing under stress. It's where the breath is just coming from the upper lobes and it's really fast and really quick. That is also a sign of being under stress. So if your breath is coming hard and fast like that, then you are definitely in a stress response. And we want to slow that down, deepen it, and with a slow release exhale. Right? So that is what we're going to be doing today. But first, let's go into how this impacts you mentally. This is truly amazing how when we just quiet our mind, when you go into stillness and quiet your mind, you will begin to master your stress and be what we call in the now, be present. When was the last time you spent time in stillness? When was the last time you quieted the mind, got the body still, and focused solely on the present moment? Those of you who meditate and who practice stillness, hopefully you experienced it earlier today. But if not, if you are one that has not been able to adopt that because you feel like you're just moving too fast, you don't have time to sit still, I want to encourage you today to sit still, to just be still for a moment. In fact, you can do it right now while you're watching the show. Just be present, breathe, allow your attention to float from my words to your breath, from my words to your breath, and allow the mind to slowly cycle down and become still. Now you are present. When we're present, our vitality soars. When we're present and the stress is being reduced and the stress is reduced, that is when we are increasing the health of our physical body. So be still for a moment a day, 2 moments, 5 moments, and practice the stillness of the mind so that you can be present in the now. Be in tune with that slow breath, breathing in and exhaling. And when we get to the end part of the show, we will be doing a breath break together, and I'll be walking you through how to make it happen. Right? So we bring more oxygen to the brain in those stillness moments. We have clarity. We're also in what you call the parasympathetic state of operation. When we reside in the parasympathetic state of operation, we're relaxed. And in that place, there a whole host of healing will take place. So let's look at our physical fitness. How does breath impact our physical fitness? When we look at our physical body and when we are in motion, heavy motion, fast motion, we feel our breath rate increase. When our breath rate increases that way, we are bringing in more oxygen into the system. When we bring more oxygen into the system, oxygen is going to the cells, it is being delivered to every organ, the muscles, every moving part to the inside of your body, nourishing it so that it can do the work it needs to do while you're in motion. However, the breath also impacts the parasympathetic state of operation that I was just mentioning. The breath stimulates parasympathetic. Parasympathetic nervous system mode of operation is relaxed. So you would think that activity of the breath and being focused on it, being in motion or sitting still, that it would put you into a stress response because you're active, but that's not necessarily true. When you are relaxed and bringing plenty of oxygen into your body, you can be in motion and be completely relaxed and reside in parasympathetic state of operation. The time that we're in sympathetic, which is that stress state, is when we are stressed and moving fast. Stressed in our mind, stressed in our body, stressed in the emotional center. But what I'm asking you to do is to bring breath into the body to allow the physical body and the fitness of your physical body to elevate. When we get in tune with the breath physically, all right, so we're turning it to the inside. When we get in tune with the breath, our physical body from within, it activates our self-love quotient. Self-love quotient. Those that are stressed and in a worried state, stress state most of the time, that self-love quotient is declining. In order to elevate that self-love quotient, we've got to be in tune with the breath and bring it within. It also boosts our immune system. Yay! Deep breathing impacts your immune system. If you want to build up your immune system and become stronger, then deepen that breath and do it often. Your energy and stamina will follow suit. You will have more than enough, more than enough. So tap into your body and your breath and elevate that relationship you have with yourself. Don't go through this moment of your life in that stress state, turning a blind eye to your needs. Turn an eye, your inner eye, to you and breathe deeply and with awareness and elevate the health and vitality of your physical body. All right, so let's tap into our emotional fitness, shall we? The emotional fitness, when we look at oxygen and how it's coming in to the body, and we've just elevated our self-love quotient, that opens up the heart brain, our emotional center. And when our heart brain is open and we are emotionally centered there, we have definitely increased our vitality score. When we are open here in the heart and we are bringing that breath into the body, we reduce anxiety. At the same time, we can also restore sleep. Y'all, oxygen is pretty important. Of everything that I've mentioned today, lowers the stress, lowers anxiety, restores your sleep, activates your self-love quotient, boosts your immune system, gets your pattern of operation in sync, right? Increases mental clarity. We want to breathe. Breath is the single most metabolic enhancing nutrient you have at your disposal, and it's absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it. You just got to be present and conscious. That's it. It is beautiful. All you need is your breath, partnered up with a moment in time, and you can impact your health and vitality and your very health of the physical body exponentially. So let's talk about breath work. How do we put this into our day? When we are focused and we are running hither and yon and we feel like we don't have time to stop. So usually people use that word BUSY in this scenario. And as many of you know, that is a word I do my best not to say. Every once in a while it'll slip out, but I really do my best not to say, because that is one thing, BUSY, that I do not accept into my life. I don't care if my schedule is one thing right after another, filled with everything that I love. That is the mindset that I put around it, so that my breath stays deep and even. If I begin to go into the BUSY mindset and think about my life that way, then I just shortened my breath. I just gripped my life. I just reduced my health and vitality. So get in the pattern, the habit of thinking of your life schedule that, oh, it is filled with everything that I love. Everything that I love. And it will be. It will be. It will be. So when a life pattern is like that, how do we fit this in? So if you're driving in the car, oh my gosh, that is the best place to do breath work. Truly. Get in alignment with your breath when you're in the car. Focus on your breath. So you have two senses that are working. Well, you have a little bit more than that, hearing as well, but what you see and your breath. That's sensorial resilience. That is super focused, y'all. Being able to focus on something in front of you, being in tune to what's happening around you, and being in your breath is bringing in a state of awareness that's really deep. Allow that breath to expand. So when you're driving is a great place. As you're getting ready, anytime you're going to leave the house, when you're getting ready, you're at your bathroom mirror and you're, putting your clothes on or getting your makeup on or whatever it is that you want to do, doing your jewelry, it's deep breathing. It's deep breathing. When you're in the kitchen making your food for a meal, it's deep breathing. Focus on the breath at the same time as focusing on what you're doing. That's another way you can do a breath break. Another way you can do a breath break is you can totally separate yourself and be still and in the moment. Close your eyes. Feel that breath come into your body. Exhale and spend 2 to 5 minutes in that stillness. When you spend 2 minutes in your breath break, you will notice tremendous expansion through the diaphragm and the lungs. When you spend 5, you're going to notice not only the expansion, but the relaxed state of operation. You'll notice both exponentially. So how do we breathe? How do we breathe? So if I was to have you take in a deep breath right now, go ahead and just do it. Place one hand on your chest, one hand on your tummy, that lower tummy. And take a breath in. Where do you feel your body rise? Is it on the chest or is it on the tummy? If it's on the chest, that's okay. That is okay. Take a breath in here at the chest. Good. Now place your hands in front of your tummy, right here at the top, and take a breath. And bring your attention and awareness to the diaphragm and allow that diaphragm to push the hands away from the body. Exhale the air. Feel that diaphragm contract, compress, and push up to force the air out of your lungs. Let's do it again. Breathe in. You're pulling, the syringe is pulling that air in. The diaphragm is going to expand and lower. It lowers so it makes room. Exhale. Now, when you do that, you may feel that expansion in the back of your lungs. Now, if you're having difficulty bringing that oxygen into the diaphragm, not into the diaphragm, but using the diaphragm to draw the air into the lungs, then do the Satali breathing. It's where you curl your tongue like that. Curl your tongue and breathe in through the tongue. It's like a straw. And automatically your diaphragm will do the expansion and the lowering. Let's try it again. Ready? Curl your tongue. Breathe it in. Exhale. Feel that diaphragm. Push in, contract, and push up. Great. Now we want to feel the air. So we're feeling the muscle expand and lower, but we want to feel the back of the lungs expand as well. So you can place your hands right here. Oh, gotta move back a little bit. Right here around, right on the soft part, so you feel the diaphragm, the lungs, and the front of the lungs, and then the back of the lungs. And take that breath in. You can do it through the tongue. And you'll feel the expansion all the way around. And again. Exhale. One more through the tongue. And exhale. Good. Now, when we're in a breath break, take some relaxed breaths right now. When we're in a breath break, you can begin with that. Start with the chest. Take your hands down to the diaphragm. Wrap your hands around. Do a couple more breaths that way, and then relax the hands. And see if you can do it mentally, your mind's eye, bringing oxygen into the lower lobes of the lungs first, then filling up the chest, and then exhaling through the nose. So we're going to do the first breath through the curled tongue, then we're going to, and exhale through the nose, then we're going to go to the breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the nose stimulates the nervous system, stimulates that parasympathetic state of operation. So that is what we're, that's our intention when we have breath breaks, is to shift that mode of operation. So here we go. You're going to curl the tongue and breathe in. Remember the diaphragm first. So we're drawing air into the lower lobes of the lungs, and the diaphragm is pushing away from the body and down. All right. When you fill up those lower lobes, now I want you to bring it high into the upper lobes, then exhale through the nose. Good. All right, so here we go. Breathe it in. Exhale through the nose. All the way until the diaphragm contracts and pushes up. Now, breathe in through the nose. Draw the breath in through the nose right now, deep. Bring it into the lower lobes of the lungs. That diaphragm's expanding and lowering. Hold it for 2 counts. Now exhale for a count of 6. Exhale through the nose. Exhale that air and allow that diaphragm to contract and push up to exhale all the air. Right, now breathe in for 5. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Again, breathe it in for 4 this time. Hold for 2. Exhale completely for 6. Allow that diaphragm to contract fully. Good. Now relax for a moment. We are working to build up your stamina with your breath, expanding those lungs, stretching out the muscles that are around the rib cage, stretching out the fascia, and then opening up the lungs. When you have done that to where the 4, 2, 6 is comfortable, you can then take it into breathing in for 6, holding for 3, exhaling for 9. So let's give that a try. Ready? Breathe in through the nose for a count of 6. Expand, fill all the way up to the top, and hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale for a count of 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Exhale completely everything where that diaphragm locks it in, and relax. Good job. Good job. I recommend 3 to 4 breath breaks a day. So see how you can fit in 2 to 5 minutes worth of deep breathing 3 to 4 times a day. Start with 1. And then if you can throw in a bonus 2, that's great. Your goal is 3 to 4. So we start small and we go big for massive changes, right? So begin with 1, bonus is 2. Then once that gets comfortable and you notice that you're hitting 2 of those more than 1, then make your goal 2 breath breaks, with the third one being the bonus. And when you get in that third one on a regular basis and you're getting bonus points, then do the 3 every day and do a bonus of 4. Very gradually, small steps lead to massive changes. So give that a try and see if you can't start adding in more energy and vitality into the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual essence of you. Y'all, this oxygen, more oxygen in your body is going to give you more energy. And if your physical vitality score was a little low, the oxygen could be exactly what you need. That goes for mental and physical and spiritual body as well. There is nothing like the breath, and it is free for you. It is free. You don't have to pay for it. Not at all. It is yours. And your physical body can be trained to take in this breath on a deep scale all day long. The one thing that works against you is the stress that you allow into yourself. So the next time stress comes a knocking, ask yourself this question: is this worth giving up my breath of life over? Because when you give stress entrance inside of you, you have just given up that breath of life. Be mindful every single day. Be in tune with your breath. Be cognizant if your breath is going shallow or if you're holding your breath. And if you are, turn it around quickly. I hope these tips have helped you with the breath. This is one way that you can age gracefully, and I highly recommend it. Breathing is the number one commodity, y'all. It so is. All right. Much love and a big old hug. I am going to close out this portion of the show before we head into the live Q&A. Thank you for being with me on this beautiful journey of the breath. I'll see you next time.